Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so very much guys for joining me today. Thank you so much for your subscription and your support. I would definitely want to say a thank you, huge shout out to Sparkles and Things. She is the bomb. If you guys have not checked out her videos yet, go ahead to her channel. It's Sparkles and Things. She has the best Guyanese recipe. Her latest video, Guyanese white and black pudding, so go ahead and check that out. Today I'm going to show you guys my take on how to make chili. So here's just some of my ingredients. I have the Holy Trinity, bell peppers, onions, celery. I also have garlic on the side, guys. I'm also going to be using some diced tomatoes, kidney beans. You can also use chili beans with this, guys, but I'm only using kidney beans for today. Some tomato paste, your seasonings. I'm using my complete seasoning: chili powder, paprika, cumin, salt and black pepper, ketchup, adobo, and then I have about 2 pounds of ground beef that I've seasoned with all of my seasonings that I just showed you. You can use ground turkey, you can use ground chicken. I'm choosing to use ground beef for my chili. So let's get this started, guys. So here I have a pot of oil that has been heating. I'm gonna go ahead and add my ground beef to my oil. Now, like I said, guys, listen to that sear and sizzle. Everyone does it different. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to sear off my ground beef before we go into our next ingredients or next step. I'm in the 39. So I went ahead and I seared off my meat and I've taken it out of the pot and I'm going to set that aside. Now let's get working on the Holy Trinity. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and put my pan back onto the oil. Same pan. I didn't wash it out because we don't want to lose the flavor of nothing. Put a little bit more oil to it. So now I'm going to just add my onions, peppers, garlic, the whole 9 yards. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I added my onions and my peppers and my garlic into my pan. I'm just going to go ahead and saute these down for a few minutes, probably about 3 to 5 minutes, just so it can become translucent as possible before we go ahead and add our ground beef back to it. Now I'm using the red, yellow and the green bell peppers because I had that in my fridge. I kind of like the colors that it gives into the chili. If you don't have that, you can just basically use whatever you have. Onions and garlic and celery is just fine. Celery, onion, garlic, green pepper is just fine. You know, you get the drift. So whatever you have, don't go ahead and expense yourself. Remember, this is cooking on a budget. It's delicious, it's friendly, it's cost effective. So do not expense yourself. So we just basically going to continue to let this saute for a few minutes and then we'll add our ground beef after it. Alright guys, so as you can see, I went ahead and I sauteed all of the onion, peppers and carrot, the Holy Trinity. It's nicely sauteed and it's cooked down smoothly. I'll go ahead to this now and I'll add back my beef, juices and all, down to the last drop. We're not letting anything go to waste. Alright, and we'll just mix this back up with each other. So it's kind of hard to mix and film at the same time because my little helper is not here today. So let me just put the camera down. That way I can mix everything in for you guys. Alright, so it's all mixed in nicely. Here we have it, and it's already tasting delicious. And at this point, guys, you do want to check for... Yep, very good. You want to check for seasoning. Keep in mind every step of the way, like I always say, just taste as you go. That way you can add, because it's easier to add than to subtract. So while we have this going here, guys, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 can of diced tomatoes. And I am using this one. So it's about 1 pound. So I have 2 pounds of ground beef. So I'm going to be using basically as a 2-to-1 ratio. Alright, so I went ahead and I mixed that in, guys. Now I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Alright, so I added 3 tablespoons of tomato paste and I'm going to go ahead and mix this in. Now again, this is chili, so this recipe can be adjusted depending on however you like it, okay? So you can add more or you can add less. Alright guys, so this is how we're looking right now. We've had the tomato paste, diced tomatoes, all our Holy Trinity beef and everything. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and add some kidney beans. And like I mentioned, guys, you can use kidney beans and chili beans, but for today I'm just going to use the kidney beans and I'm going to go ahead and mix this in. Alright guys, so it's been cooking up for a little while. Now at this point, we haven't added any seasonings yet, so I'm going to go ahead and start to add my seasoning. Now what I'm going to be using today is some chili powder, So I'm gonna go ahead and add about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of chili powder. I'm also gonna add some paprika, and I'm just using smoked paprika, guys. You can use regular paprika. I'm gonna add some cumin, about a tablespoon of cumin, some black pepper, about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of black pepper. You know, my favorite seasoning, my complete seasoning, about 2 tablespoons of that too, guys. And then about a tablespoon of salt, okay? Because again, like I always say, salt is easier to add as you go than to take the hell out, because bro, once salt is in there, it's in there. All right guys, as you can see, we're looking delicious, we're looking good. All my seasonings are added. At this point, you definitely want to taste, adjust as you go. I like a little bit of spice in mine, so I'm going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of pepper. Mix that back in. And then at this point, guys, for simmering, I usually would add about 2 cups to a cup and a half to 2 cups of beef broth, but I don't have that, so I'm just going to go ahead and add some hot water. All right guys, so I went ahead and I added my hot water to the pan. As you can see, I'm going to stir it in very slow because it's to the rim. You might want to use a bigger pot than me, but I'm just making this for a family of 4, so it's good enough. Now, the reason I added the hot water, guys, because you never want to add cold water or room temperature water to a pot because it's going to slow down your cooking process. So I went ahead and I added my hot water, as I mentioned. Again, I tasted for flavor. Everything is on point. So I'm basically done with this right now. I'm going to go ahead and cover this and let this cook away on a low for about 2 hours. And then when we come back, you guys will see the goodness. All right guys, so 2 hours later, this is what we have. It's delicious. So let me go ahead and plate it up and show you guys what we're working with. All right guys, so I went ahead and I placed my chili in my bowl, and this is what it looks like. Let me give you guys a close-up. As you can see, some of the ingredients or some of the celery and onions and so forth still kept it in its integrity, but it flavored the, you know, sauce well. And I'm gonna go ahead and top it. So for mine, I'm just gonna add a little bit of green onions. All right guys, so there we have it. This is my chili, guys. I topped mine with some sour cream, cheddar cheese, and green onion. Again, this recipe is very simple. It's delicious, it's cost effective, and it is awesome. So if you guys like today's recipe, I'm gonna go ahead and share all the ingredients with exact measurements in the description box below. I'm also gonna go ahead and add the toppings into that too, in case you want to add it. You can add or not, or add whatever you want to, guys. But if you like today's recipe, guys, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video, and continue to watch. Continue to share, and until next time, guys, thank you so very much once again for your subscription. Do stay safe with this whole COVID thing, guys. Stay prayed up, stay blessed, and until next time, enjoy.